Hey, what's happening, everybody? It's Ask Jesse Answer Time. Let's get right to it. Number one comes to us from Rebecca Brown. And Rebecca asks, how can you talk to someone close to you about their addictions? How can you talk to someone close to you about their addictions? I think with something like that, the best way you can do is talk to them. First of all, you have to set an intention. And that intention needs to, I think, be coming from the most loving place possible. And sometimes the loving place is not always what might be loving. Loving might be firm, loving might be strong, loving might be nurturing, loving might be really stern. So sometimes what a loving place is may not seem like what we think a loving place is. I think a loving place, a true loving place, is always going to be coming from a place of strength. With that being said, I think it's paramount that when you're talking to somebody about this, that you're not coming across of it as attacking or accusatory or pointing the finger. And if you do something like that, you're not trying to say, well, I understand, I get it, I can relate to you. Because we really can't. Each of us have our own individual experience. Each of us experience our experiences as individuals. They make the experiences unique for us. This is why two people can go and sit next to each other in the theater. One of them is laughing hysterically at a scene, ha ha ha. The other one is crying and sobbing their eyes out. Because all of their experiences they've had in life have brought them to that moment where they're each interpreting their experience uniquely as their own individual. So coming to them, setting an intention from a very loving place, not being accusatory, not pointing the finger, and not saying how you get it, that you relate to them. And instead, try to understand them. Try to understand them. Ask them what it's like. Ask them why. Ask them why you do that instead of something else. Ask them what it might be like if they could take that addiction they have and be addicted to something else. Be addicted to something positive, something that really pushes them forward. You know, I can't get into more than that without knowing more specifics of them and not knowing the person. So hopefully those are some general tools and ideas that you can use to help talk to your friend and give them some guidance and hopefully maybe help you to communicate with them more effectively. Okay. Number two comes to us from Heather Green McGill, and Heather asks, how would you mentally and physically prepare for foot surgery when you run daily? Recovery is 6 weeks to 6 months. How would you mentally and physically prepare for foot surgery when you run daily and you have a recovery period that's looking at anywhere from 6 weeks to 6 months? With something like this, you have to focus on the outcome. If you're having to have surgery now, I'm going to guess that you're probably not able to run at the level you want to. Maybe you're experiencing some pain, maybe it's not as enjoyable as it's been, or maybe that you're looking to do this surgery to prevent something more in the future. So you have to focus on that. Whether it's 6 weeks or 6 months, in the grander scheme of life, it's a blink of an eye. Let's say you live to be 80 years old. All right, let's say you live to be 80 years old. That means there's 166 month periods in 180 years old. That's just saying this stretches out to the maximum it could be. Let's say it takes a full 6 months. So there's 166 month periods in 180 years of life. That means you're investing 1/160th of your lifetime, right? 1/160th of your lifetime to get your problem taken care of, recover, grow back stronger and better than before, and then have 150 nights of your life left to be able to run and do these things at the level that you want to do. So you're taking 1/160th of your life, if you're doing 6 month intervals, to get 150 nights of your life to be able to run and do things as you want. And so when you look at things in that perspective, you're investing a very small amount of time to get a really big return. I understand in the moment it may not be the most desirable, it may not seem the most lucrative, but look at it over the term of your whole life. This small little thing to get this maximum investment. It's kind of like saying, if I were to say, hey, will you give me $1,000 right now? And you know you're going to be out without this $1,000 for the next 6 weeks to 6 months. But if you do that, over the course of your lifetime, that $1,000 is going to turn into $159,000. Would you give me the $1,000? Yeah, probably, right? Right? Because you're standing to gain, what, 158,000 positive dollars. That's a pretty good investment. Look at it in the same perspective here, because that's what you stand to gain. Okay? There's a couple other fun ones here that we'll just do. we had one asked if they could have the Jesse shirt that I have, the shirt that I wear in the picture, the Zero Limit shirt. Absolutely. You can get those shirts on my website, which is just www.jessebrisendine.com. And you can also get this shirt too. There was another one asked who said that they were thinking I should host a retreat in Santa Barbara. Guess what? If you haven't heard yet, I'm actually doing my first live event in Santa Barbara in October. There's going to be more details forthcoming in the next couple weeks, including where it's going to be, the exact dates, all those types of things, how you can save your spot. So again, make sure you're keeping your eyes out on the 1000 Challenge page. If you haven't subscribed to the notifications on there, make sure you're doing so. And the more you interact, like, comment, share anything that I post, the more it's going to organically show up in your newsfeed. Facebook's constantly changing things around, which means that we have to be more proactive in interacting with the content that we want to see delivered. So if you want to make sure you hear about the update and when the live event's going to be, make sure you're interacting with the 1000 Challenge page. And if you haven't gotten my newsletter yet, there's a link on the 1000 Challenge page to subscribe to it. I'll be sending out information on that as well.